A1M southbound near junction 17 closes one lane due to an incident. Delays clearing by 7:45 this evening. In Solihull, M42 northbound collision closes a lane between junctions 4 and 5. Normal traffic expected shortly. A 96 at Pitcaple faces restrictions in both directions due to an incident. Proceed cautiously. And on the trains, the Elizabeth line between Romford and Shenfield is disrupted. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Crash Law 24 sponsors GB News Traffic and Travel Report.
Westminster, the ultimate clique.
And you're fighting like rats in a sack.
But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask.
OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician.
Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it.
That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact is Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome to Lee Anderson's Real World. Tonight on the show, we've got media strategist Andy Twells. He's going head-to-head with author Emma Wolfe. We've also got community campaigner Ken Hines and facial yoga expert Yasmin Teller. But first, let's go to the news.
Good evening. The top stories from the GB newsroom. A temporary injunction that was set to block asylum seekers from being housed at an Essex hotel has been overturned at the Court of Appeal. Samani Hotels, which owns the Bell Hotel in Epping, and the Home Office challenged a High Court ruling that would have stopped 138 asylum seekers from being housed there beyond September the 12th. In a ruling last week, Mr Justice Eyre granted Epping Forest District Council an interim injunction after the authority claimed that Samani Hotels had breached planning rules by using the Bell as accommodation for asylum seekers. After a hearing yesterday, 3 Court of Appeal judges ruled in favour of Samani Hotels and the Home Office today, stating that Mr Justice Eyre's ruling was seriously flawed in principle. The ruling will come as a relief to the Home Office, which has been braced for further legal challenges from other councils over the use of hotels in their areas. Kemi Badenoch claimed Sir Keir Starmer puts the rights of illegal immigrants above the rights of British people who just want to feel safe in their towns and communities. Border Security and Asylum Minister Dame Angela Eagle said the Home Office launched this appeal so hotels could be exited in a controlled and orderly way.
Well, nobody wants to close the Bell Hotel and all other asylum hotels more than me, and we have pledged that we are going to do that by the end of the Parliament. Today's judgment allows us to do it in a planned and managed way so that we can get the system running and make sure that we can exit hotels for once and for all.
Elsewhere, Angela Rayner has reportedly saved £40,000 in stamp duty on her new seaside flat after telling tax authorities it was her main home. The Telegraph newspapers say the Deputy Prime Minister is understood to have removed her name from the deeds of her house in Greater Manchester a few weeks before buying an £800,000 seaside flat in Hove. These changes would enable Ms Rayner to avoid paying £70,000 in stamp duty, which would have been applicable if Hove was her second home. Instead, she's thought to have paid £30,000. A spokesperson for Ms Rayner said she paid the correct duty owed on the purchase entirely properly and in line with all relevant requirements. Any suggestion otherwise, they say, is entirely without basis. And finally, all young children in England and Wales will be offered a free chickenpox vaccine on the NHS from January of next year. It will be given as 2 doses at 12 and 18 months of age, combined with the existing MMR jab, which protects against measles, mumps and rubella. Now, a secondary catch-up campaign is planned for slightly older children so that they do not miss out. And those are the latest GB News headlines for now. More news from me at 8 o'clock.
Tune into GB News Radio wherever you are, online, on DAB digital radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Welcome to Lee Anderson's Real World. I'm Lee Anderson, the Reform UK Member of Parliament for Ashfield. And tonight on the show, he's back. He's left in the corner. It's Andy Twelves. He's going head-to-head with the very, very lovely political commentator, author, and just generally nice lady, which is Emma Wolfe. But this week, guys, we had the Reform UK press conference at Oxford Airport. And Nigel Farage had this to say. Have a listen to this.
Are you saying that his comments were wrong?
It won't be happening in the first 5 years of a Reform government.
But was he wrong?
It's just not our priority.
Does women's safety only apply to women in the UK for you?
Our primary target is to worry about women and girls on the streets of this country, less than what the countries are like that we're going to deport these men to. It's all about priorities, and it's all about, frankly, given the mess that we've had with this over the last few years, it's all about whose side are you on.
So, guys, you heard what Nigel had to say. Detain and deport. That's the only deterrent that will work. First, we'll go over to our left in the corner. Emma, I can see you chomping at the bit. Andy, what do you think? Is it going to work?
No, it's not. It was a lovely press conference with lots of great visuals, a very echoey room, so you couldn't really hear what Nigel was saying. But what we did hear was absolute rubbish. He says, we're just going to leave the ECHR. You can't just leave the ECHR. It would take years to do. Nigel should know this. He spent 30 years campaigning to leave the EU. You can't just do it. He's only budgeted 10 billion for it. But his pal, ex-pal Rupert Lowe, said that it's, 40 billion in a near identical plan. Yeah. You're going to create camps like the ones we have in Calais on the cliffs of Dover. I just don't think it's realistic, and it's not good for Britain.
Of Dover once, Sandy.
You what?
He never mentioned the cliffs of Dover.
Well, where's he going to put the camps?
He never. Where did you get that from, the cliffs of Dover?
Well, I imagine they come in.
You imagined it, like you imagine a lot of stuff. Emma, can we have some common sense into the debate, please?
Yeah, can we have some common sense? Why are we in this situation? We are in this situation. Why is Nigel having to take such a forceful and some call it aggressive approach? Why? Because Labour, over the past year, and the Tories before that, have been so weak on immigration, so weak about having borders, that we've effectively had open borders. Yeah. Right? That is why we're in this situation. And whether it's practical, whether it's feasible, there's a lot that Nigel said that is going to be difficult. Yeah. It is going to be uncomfortable. Yeah. But it's very, very powerful. It's a strong deterrent. That is what we need at the moment. We need deterrence and we need action. We've seen it with Donald Trump. Yeah. What's he done? He's talked tough and he's taken action. And guess what? Illegal migration has absolutely plummeted. Yep. And I'm sorry, British people have had enough. And yeah, it's uncomfortable, some of the things that Nigel Farage is saying about deporting people, but actually we can't go on like this. No. We can't be welcoming to people that actually need our help. We can't be a sanctuary for people who are coming from war-torn countries. If we are just taking in everybody.
I want to push back. Right. They are not coming from a war-torn country. They are coming from France.
No, this is my point. We cannot be an open, welcoming sanctuary to people who do need our help if we are just taking in everybody. And the other thing that Nigel said that I think is absolutely brilliant, he said, we cannot help everybody. We cannot. People saying, oh, but Afghanistan, Eritrea, the human rights record. I'm sorry, but when you look at Britain, the state we're in is not our problem.
Let's go back to Andy.
It's not our problem.
Let's go back to Andy. But you're right there. If these countries have got a poor human rights record, Andy, and some of these illegal migrants posing as asylum seekers could be deported back, then, surely they will then stop in France.
Oh, sure. Well, I don't think so. I think they probably...
You think they still come here?
Well,
they could be deported back to the country that's going to torture them.
Even Emma admitted it's not particularly practical or feasible. A lot of things that Nigel said. Something we'll imagine it. I think they'll just see it's a bluff because it is. But I could hardly see, in a reform government in 2029, I can't really see, your man Nigel Farage calling up the Taliban in Afghanistan, going, guys, please. Take them back, take them back.
It's not about asking them to take them back. It's about deporting people who cross here illegally. If I try to cross into America without filling out endless visa papers and doing all the necessary immigration and the old nester, I will not get in. There's no question. If I get to JFK or wherever, I'll be put in a room and they'll wait there and they'll say to me, you've crossed illegally, you've come into our country illegally, and they will send me back.
But of course, Andy, we give the Taliban regime £150 million a year in foreign aid, so we've got a bit of bargaining power there. So you take them back, otherwise your money stops.
I mean, maybe. I just don't think that would happen. Genuinely, I don't think Nigel Farage really understands the concept of foreign aid.
And you do?
Well, I think probably the government does. I think Nigel Farage has been this big plan that's going to be really expensive. He's only put 10 billion in for it. That's ridiculous. He said, we're just going to leave the ECHR, and that's the key bit of it. We're going to leave the ECHR.
Yeah, we can do. It's quite
simple.
simple.
It would take years.
Just hand your notice in.
So you want the Good Friday Agreement to collapse?
No, we don't, Andy. No, we don't, Andy.
That is what would happen.
Try speaking to the DUPs about that. Emma, you come back.
Well, you talk about how much... Well, for starters, it's not a bluff. Do you think that the people traffickers, are going to be more keen? I mean, when Starmer got in, it was open borders. They just absolutely leapt on the boats. Nigel Farage is not bluffing. And when you talk about the cost of all this,
you said it wasn't practical.
It would save us billions in the NHS, in welfare spending, in housing, in asylum hotels, in education.
And I'll tell you what it will do.
Wasting billions.
Emma, you're a lady, you're a woman. You've told me, so I know that. I know your pronouns. But if we detain every single person that comes over the channel, then the sex attacks will stop overnight. Is that true?
I know a lot of women who do not feel safe anymore in their communities, which have changed. I'm not going to start slinging arrows specifically, but I would agree with you on that.
Is that a price worth paying, Andy?
The sex attacks. You think all sex offences are going to stop?
No, I didn't say that, Andy.
You said the sex attacks.
No, the sex attacks from these illegal migrants, the asylum seekers, will stop overnight.
No.
Do you think that's a price worth paying?
Well, I don't think it's.
Do you think we should detain all these young men and not let them wander around our streets to keep our women safe? It's a simple question, Andy.
It's a bad question.
It's not a bad question.
It's just a silly question. I
Have
mean,
you
I don't think the Reform Party...
Honestly.
I don't think...
Unbelievable.
The ladies in pink.
Unbelievable.
The Reform Party can't talk. One of their elected MPs, who actually resigned, has a conviction of violence against women.
Let me try and nail him on this
So I don't think you care about women's safety.
We've got women and girls in this country being raped and molested by asylum seekers. So is it, Andy, a price worth paying to detain every single one of them as soon as they arrive in this country to stop these attacks?
I think we should.
Is it yes or no?
We should detain them, yeah. But there are also lots of legal migrants and British people who molest and rape women.
I'm not saying...
It's not like sex offences aren't going to stop just because you
never said
detain
that,
the asylum.
You wasn't listening to what I said.
It's
wasn't listening. We've got enough problems in this country on our own. We aren't importing more people.
Exactly. One of the former Reform MPs has a conviction against violence against women. So I think we do have a lot of problems. One of them is in the House of Commons, and you put him there. How do you sleep at night with that?
I don't think ad hominem attacks on specific
it's not ad hominem.
people.
He's a convicted woman abuser.
OK, but so you're ignoring all the thousands of women who are taken to the streets every weekend, decent British women. I've spoken to them. They're concerned about their grandmothers, their mothers, their daughters, their little girls. That is the fact, Andy. They're not making it up.
I'm sympathetic to them, and I agree with them. I think they shouldn't have to walk around the streets and feel at risk. I agree with them.
You cannot ignore the fact that there are cultural differences in how
Farage's plan is just pure rubbish.
Men view women.
It's pure rubbish.
Okay, carry on, Emma.
Just really hard when women are expressing, British women, women who've lived here all their lives, are expressing how they feel their communities have changed. And I am talking specifically about women, because I've spoken to so many of them, that the fact that their little girls can't play out in their swimming costumes in the splash pad where I take my son.
Yeah.
Because they're being filmed by men on mobile phones. That is a valid, that's changing the way that they live, Andy.
Come on, Andy, come back at it.
Like I said, I don't think women or children should have to be at risk, but I don't think the problem is mutually exclusive with asylum seekers. I think there are lots of legal migrants here, lots of British people here who also do things.
It's not about legal migrants, Andy. It's not about British-born people.
Crime isn't just committed by asylum seekers.
It's not about crime in general. The debate today is about illegal migration. It's about asylum seekers.
And your deportation plan is
what the debate is about the deportation plan is rubbish.
It's pure waffle.
Well, I mean, Nigel has talked about illegal immigration as a scourge, and it's absolutely right. You know, social cohesion. We can pretend it's not happening, but look at social cohesion around the country. Yeah. Everybody is saying how uncomfortable they feel, how sad they feel about their country. That is not far right. That is patriotic. What is wrong with being proud of our country?
So, Andy, I want to ask you a simple question. It's not the yes or no question just yet. Should illegal migrants, i.e. these claiming to be asylum seekers, be placed in hotels or in secure camps and not allowed to roam the streets?
I think ideally neither. I'd like to get rid of the backlog and have them approved immediately or denied immediately. I don't think it's between hotels and camps.
Well, it is. It's absolutely between hotels and camps.
It's not because people are being put up in HMOs, they're being put up in council houses.
So given
it's not just between hotels.
Given the choice, let's try and nail it, Emma, it's because it's skirting around the question. Given the choice, if you got 1,000 illegals coming in today, would you put them in a hotel or a secure camp?
Probably a hotel right now. I don't think a secure camp.
Emma.
He'd put them in a hotel with, you know, fresh bedding. He'd put them in a hotel with iPads and iPhones. Yeah. Let's be really clear. If you come to this country illegally, you go into a secure camp and then you're deported. Yeah. If it's illegal. If it's illegal, yes.
Don't you think, Andy, if that was the case, if they were detained, they wouldn't come?
No, I don't, because I don't think it's... I just don't think it's... Your plan isn't real. It doesn't... It just won't happen. That you can't just leave the ECHR. It would take an entire parliament to do it.
Well, you can just ignore it.
You can't just
ignore it. Of course you can.
You can't.
Why can't you ignore it, Andy?
It's the law. Why can't I drive 60 down a 30?
If we ignore the ECHR or parts of it, what would happen?
It's violating international law. Our
what
leaders
would happen?
Probably
what would be the consequences to this country?
It would probably be international... fines. Someone would go down.
International fines?
It's a crime. You can't just ignore an international law.
Or if we had a Home Office and an asylum processing system that was actually functional rather than dysfunctional.
You can't just ignore the ECHR.
Right, guys, to calm this down a little bit, but our left in the corner has been, quite frankly, chatting nonsense. Thank you, Anne, for adding some common sense to the debate. Coming up next, we've got Ken Hines. He's going to talk about knife crime.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power?
Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber.
Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics.
We'll see where this ruling takes us.
These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Mornings don't have to be tiresome, especially if you have the right company.
Wake up to news as it happens, opinion and debate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment too.
Because when the kettle's on, we're on.
That's Breakfast on GB News, a show worth waking up for.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
We'll spread the news, you spread the word.
Britain was once the envy of the world, but look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m. only on GB News.
It's time for Real World, Real People. We've got a real person here. That's Ken Hines. You're the CEO of Communities Against Violence. And we're talking earlier about some of the cases that you've been dealing with and the problems you have in your community. But what got you started into this line of work?
It hasn't always been this way.
Yeah.
But what got me started, I became a housing officer and in West London, and I used to go to Trinidad for the carnival, and I used to bring back music, and young people said to me, how would you dance to this music? And I said, this is how I dance. The next thing is, they said, can you teach us? And then I started having dance classes in the car park with the tenants, with the youngsters, with the children. And they became so good at dancing that we joined a carnival band in Notting Hill. And from that carnival band, what happens is that 3-4 months before carnival, we now frantic work gets done, making costumes, and my part was to teach the youngsters dance routines to perform in public. And what transpired from there, we created a carnival village, and that became a community. From that community, what tended to happen, when there was problems in the household, the parent or the mother generally would reach out to me to help with their youngsters. And so I was able to step in and defuse and de-escalate and to help change the mindset of young people from going down that path that I went down as a youngster.
Yeah, what path was that, Ken?
It's a path that where I was a nasty piece of work. Yeah. You know, I used to do things on the roads. I was involved in street violence. I used to walk around with weapons, and I have used weapons in the past. And that just got me incarcerated at a very young age.
So what point was it in your life that actually made you just sit back and think, hold on a minute, this is not where I want to be?
It's when I thought that I was better and cleverer than the system, and I came out of prison with a newfound energy. I was taught how to be a fraudster by a dodgy accountant in jail. And when I came out with that, it didn't work well for me. No. So I ended up having to go back. But then it showed me that, you know, that I can thank my lucky stars, that I'm not as bright as I like to think I am. So from there, I realised that wasn't the life for me. Yeah. And now I'm here about instead of being selfish, but being selfless. I get much more joy by helping those who are more vulnerable than myself, and helping to also keep the peace. Like, try to make these young people feel like they're part of a village, part of a community, because if they don't feel like they're part of the community like I didn't, people like myself will come back to burn the village down. So this is where we are at the moment. The village is burning, and what my take on this is, what can I do to stem the flow of the fire, to stem the violence? And due to my unique lived experience, I'm able to bring that onto the roads and have an influence with young people.
It's a wonderful story you're telling, Ken. This is very inspirational. You spoke about the Notting Hill Carnival. And it is supposed to be a carnival where we bring all different cultures together into it and have a good time. And I know a lot of people, the thousands of people that do go, most of them have a good time there and come together. But there's some naughtiness going off there as well, isn't there? How do we stop that?
Listen, tragically, when you have weak leadership and people who doesn't have vision, this is what we got.
Who's the weak leaders?
The weak leaders is people like the chair of the carnival organisation. He's out there quite clearly. People now know who he is. But the simple fact is that he's not from my particular culture. What does he really understand about the beauty of carnival? And it's quite clear from what horrifies me is that year after year we have the police going kicking down young people's doors and arresting them, saying they're going to cause problem at the carnival. This year 100 was put in prison. People will be called back to prison. All kind of things happening. It hurts me as a community champion of young people, vulnerable people who've been traumatised, to say this is how we in the community are treating our young people.
So, Ken, there's been nearly 500 arrests at this year's Notting Hill Carnival. Why is that?
Personally, I would like to drill down to see what the arrest for, because primarily I find there's a difference in the policing between the Notting Hill Carnival and other events that with people who doesn't look like me. Yeah. And the simple fact that what we're having here is that people getting arrested for having a spliff at Carnival. But yet, if you go to Glastonbury with your Class A drugs, you get it tested to see what you got in there. So I'm thinking, hey, come on, you know, police can use their time much better. Yeah. They brought in facial recognition that also had some hit. What were they hitting on? We were told that for serious violence and things of that nature. I would like to see, scrutinise what the figures are. Yeah. Quite clearly, they said there was no really serious violence this year, but nonetheless, the number of arrests or the number of arrests makes me concerned that they were being overtly heavy-handed. Yeah. And is that what we really want? They should be using, I think the police should be using Carnival as a place to promote themselves and to recruit possible people from the ethnic minority where they're struggling with. But instead what they're using for is to further alienate themselves from that particular community, from my perspective.
Do you think they've got a difficult job to do, though, the police on the ground have got a difficult job, Ken, because they're only doing what their bosses up above tell them to do? Weak leadership? Poor bosses?
Look, I am also a community facilitator at the Hendon Police Academy. Yeah. So I talk to these young people time and time again. I also emphasise the importance of having that positive dialogue with the people that get on a stop and search, for example.
Where do you stand on stop and search?
I said for stop and search has got a place in the police toolbox or their armoury, but my particular concern, it's the way that it's applied and what it's applied for. If it is used primarily to tackle people carrying weapons and violence, I'd be all in favour. But when I see 70% of the stops usually for around the misuse of drugs, and particularly 90% of that is around for weed, hello, is that good use of police resources? No, it's not.
We've gone over our time limit, actually, but I could have spoke to you about that all night. Thanks for coming, mate.
Thank you so much.
That's Ken Hines. What a great guest. Coming up next, we've got right versus left. It's a corker this week.
Hello. Very good evening to you. I'm here from the Met Office with your GB News weather update. Through tonight, it is going to turn mostly dry for many of us, but then tomorrow there's a band of heavy rain with some strong winds mixed in with it, all due to a weather system currently out in the Atlantic, but it is heading our way. Nonetheless, before that, most of today's showers are going to be fizzling out through the next few hours, still some continuing for some western areas in particular. Many places, though, having a dry and often clear night, and under those clear skies, some rural spots in the countryside, it could turn a bit fresh. Temperatures in a few places could dip into mid, maybe high single figures, but most towns and cities, the more built up areas, holding up in double digits. A fine start to the day for many of us then tomorrow. Lots of actual sunshine around through the morning across much of England and Wales, away from those western coastal parts where there will be a few showers. It's looking largely dry, lots of blue sky through the morning. But across Northern Ireland, starting to turn cloudier by around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and a few patches of cloud and a few showers across parts of Scotland. Towards the east, though, it is looking largely dry. Away from Shetland here, there will be some fairly heavy rain around. Then as we go through the day, that band of rain that I highlighted at the start, that's going to sweep its way in, and so things are going to turn wet and windy as it pushes through. It's going to take a little while to arrive across eastern parts, not really until the evening or even overnight, but when you get that rain, it is going to be quite heavy and, like I said, some very strong winds mixed in with it. Because of the blustery wet weather coming through, it's going to feel fresher than of late, but warm enough in any sunny breaks ahead of it arriving. On Sunday, and we have more showers coming in across western parts. Further east, it's likely to stay dry with some decent sunshine, but even a few showers are likely to push through later on in the day. And then the showery, often unsettled theme continues as we go into next week. Some more persistent rain is possible at times as well. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Mornings don't have to be tiresome, especially if you have the right company.
Wake up to news as it happens, opinion and debate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment too.
Because when the kettle's on, we're on.
That's Breakfast on GB News, a show worth waking up for.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
We'll spread the news, you spread the word.
It's time for right versus left, but we've got Andy Twolves on the programme today, so it's probably going to be right versus wrong, because he's up against the very lovely Emma Wolfe. Emma, we spoke earlier about what's happening in this country, and the question for today's debate is, are British people being put to the back of the queue? Over to you, Emma.
Yes, we are being put to the back of the queue.
Why?
Absolutely. There's always money for foreign aid. There's always money for Ukraine. There's always money for war-torn countries. But when you're a British person and you need healthcare, you need education, you need housing, you need a pension in your old age, absolutely, British people, it's almost as though we're less deserving and we are less valued by the state, which, by the way, we are paying for. Absolutely, British people right now feel totally overlooked and undervalued.
OK, Andy, so Emma's obviously sat on the fence with that one. What do you think?
I mean, I agree. I think, you know, I think we're experiencing the worst bit of austerity, the austerity measures of the last decade. I think we're finally really getting them. I don't think it's shocking. Lots of people said that George Osborne's austerity measures were going to ruin our country.
Okay. So if we're going through all this austerity then, Andy, how come we can afford to send billions over in foreign aid, like 12 billion in foreign climate aid? We can afford to spaff all this money abroad, but not look after our own people like we should be doing.
I agree. Foreign expenditure should be cut. I don't think it should be completely cut, but I think there should be a reduction.
What would you cut?
I think... I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. But I think, in principle, it should be cut.
Yeah.
I think, the austerity cuts have been devastating for communities like ours, especially.
Yeah.
High streets closed up. People on the dole, people on sickness. There aren't good jobs.
I think it's trying to help him out.
It's not a controversial thing. Austerity killed the country.
Well, I was waiting for you to bring up the Tories and blame it on them. Bit of whataboutery there. I think it's more like
Labour Party have been in
more
power
like
for a
Rachel
year.
Thieves, who is basically...
Can we use that, Rachel Thieves?
The fact that we have a Chancellor who seems to want to wreck our economy, who seems to want to make the cost of employment, the cost to small businesses, just punishingly expensive. Businesses are shutting down all over the place. If every elderly person in this country was being looked after in their old age, if every child could get a decent education, if you could call up your GP and get an appointment, if that was all, if every veteran was being housed, then I would say, yeah, sure, let's send money abroad. But why can't we start at home? Charity begins at home. Let's start at home. Let's look after our people first. Then we can be generous. I think British people are really generous. When there's an appeal, when there's a charity, when there's a crisis...
Or a London Marathon.
Or a London Marathon.
Marathon.
British people are incredibly generous and welcoming. Many of them have been housing Ukrainian refugees, all of that. It's not that we're mean, but why are British people being put by the state... put to the back of the queue?
So you're doing the London Marathon next year, aren't you, Andy? What's that in aid of? What's the charity?
It's in aid of a foundation, the BCS Foundation, which gives scholarships to working class kids to go to university to study computer science and STEM subjects.
That seems like a worthy cause. But you was bleating on, Andy, again. Sorry to use that word bleating, one of my favourite words at the moment. Bleating on about our high streets and austerity. But what about the shops on the high streets that are now being crippled by Rachel from the government? Policies.
I don't think any policies are particularly crippling shops. I think people do deserve fair working rights, fair pay, fair environments to work in. I don't think the Employment Rights Bill is, which I assume you're referring to.
No.
Are you not?
Rachel Reeves has not bought.
Well, you voted against the ERB, so I just assumed so.
Rachel Reeves, has not bought in the Employment Rights Bill.
Well, she's.
I was talking about the budget.
The budget.
Yeah. The last budget.
I don't think that's been particularly critical.
When you raise national insurance contributions, when you make the cost of employment to small businesses so expensive, how is it possible to employ people? No wonder the economy's collapsing.
What do you mean? No wonder the economy's collapsing.
In this country.
The economy's collapsing because it's been, 15 years since the last bust in the economy. We had a massive pandemic.
Here we go.
And we had measures of austerity.
Rachel Reeves has been going back 15 years.
Well, I think Rachel Reeves has been in power.
We're just going to ignore the last 14 months.
Rachel Reeves has been in power for 1 year. Yeah. That's not long enough for the economic effects to have knock on.
Into some sort of
what, people leaving this country in their droves, billionaires, millionaires.
That study was based off where they're posting on social media. There isn't a capital flight.
Let me just put some context to this, because during the last Parliament, when the Tories were in power...
When you were a Tory?
Yeah. When I went to businesses every week, most of them were OK. They're struggling a little bit. They're OK. They had a bad time during COVID, but very, very grateful for the help from the Tory government at the time, the loans, the grants, the furlough, etc. This past year, Emma, I've been visiting the same businesses, and they are absolutely on their knees and furious.
Lee, they absolutely are. And I'm talking about hairdressers, cafes, pubs, hospitality absolutely on its knees. These are small businesses. These are, accountancy firms that have got the workers' rights that are now kind of giving them from day one.
Oh, not the workers' rights. The workers, they can't have rights, can they? Come on.
Okay, well, they're not going to have jobs, Andy. So that's
so we're just going to fire.
So well done, you.
We're not going to hire anybody ever again.
Great. Well done, Angela Rayner, with her workers' rights bill. I'm glad she feels happy. There are a lot of people now who are unemployed because of that.
That's just absolute rubbish. You're just talking absolute rubbish. People aren't going to get hired anymore because of the Employment Rights Bill.
Yeah, it's true.
Is
that seriously what you're saying?
It's absolutely
true.
Because
it costs way too much to employ people.
But no, I think people deserve a fair wage and fair conditions.
We do. We all believe that.
No, that's what the Employment Rights Bill
believe that,
enshrines.
Yeah.
Loads of big corporates get people on short-term contracts. They get them on until the 6 months and they dismiss them at 5 months and 20 days. That's exploitation of workers. They take the mick. They don't pay them well. They don't give them good conditions. If you think working class people don't deserve good working conditions, and
I did not say working class people.
Just in another world, you don't
Hang
think
on a
people
minute,
should have work
class is
conditions.
completely different. I didn't say anything.
Well, the people that are going to benefit from the rights of this bill are working class people. It's people who are getting abolished from the zero-hour contracts, who are working in warehouses, in shops, in hospitality, where they're being exploited. You just come across like I don't even know what you come across. Just absolute rubbish. You're just talking absolute crap.
Why would a businessman in Ashfield who owns maybe a small cafe or a hairdresser's, a little independent shop, why would they be so anti what Andy's saying right now?
Because employers want the flexibility to take people on, to try them out, to see if they're good for both the employer and the employee. Yeah. That's a really, really great thing to do, to give someone an apprenticeship, to start them on a lower wage, to see how they go in the business. That is absolutely...
So I went into a shop... The reason I asked that, I went into a shop a few weeks back in Ashfield and asked the owner about the Employment Rights Bill, and he said, look, I've got 3 members of staff. I want to recruit somebody else, but if that somebody else is a wrong-un, I can't afford to get rid of that person under this new bill.
If they turn up, Lee, and they say, I'm pregnant, the next day. And I'm a woman and I'm all for maternity rights, but these kind of working rights, it's not about attacking working class people. And actually, I know lots of people.
Lots of working class people, yeah, good.
Sorry, middle class and working class, if you'd just let me finish for once, who
Rude.
appreciate the flexibility of 0 hours contracts.
They can still have them because it's on the employee now rather than the employer. So you're just lying.
I think
you can still have zero contracts if the
Andy,
employee wants
you
one.
need to let Emma finish because I think it was very rude there. So just reduce your aggressive attitude, Emma.
She was just lying, so there's no point continuing the lies.
I've got nothing to respond to that.
Nothing to say. Well, I'll tell you what, that's perfect timing. She's got nothing to say. It's time for the yes or no quiz, and it's going to be a corker this week. So we'll go with you first, Emma. Will Starmer smash the gangs?
No.
Yes.
He said that with a straight face, which is believable, actually. Andy, will Reform's deportation plan work?
No.
Emma?
Yes.
Emma, are British people being put to the back of the queue?
Yes.
No.
No? Emma, should the Union flag fly on every building?
Yes.
Andy?
No.
And fifth and final question, is Keir Starmer doing a good job?
No.
Yes.
I don't know who's paying you. Is it GBNews or the Labour Party?
GBNews.
Some of these answers. Let's talk about the flag on public buildings, Emma.
Oh, public buildings?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just meant on all buildings. On public buildings, yeah.
Did I say all buildings or public buildings? I'll give you that one then.
I was going to say we shouldn't mandate it on every building, but public buildings.
Okay, let me ask you the question again. Should the Union flag fly on every public building?
Yeah.
Good answer. And we spoke about Reform's deportation plan. You say it'll work. Why do you think it'll work?
Just to say about the flag, can I come back on the flag?
Yeah, the flag.
I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant that people are embracing the flag. It's fine in Wales. People fly the flag in Wales. It's never been deemed to be far right. People fly the flag in Scotland and they're proud of it. We should be able to fly the Union Jack, and also we should be able to fly the St George's flag and feel proud of that. I love it. I love going down a street in London. You see them a lot now. You see the flags out and about, and it's a brilliant thing, and I think people are proud of that. They're not ashamed of it in America. They're not ashamed of it in any other country in the world.
What do you think, Andy, to some of these councils going out removing St George's flags and Union flags?
I think if they're put up unsafely, if they're on like a road and they're not put on the lamppost very well, yeah, they probably should, because it could fall on a driver and block their view. Yeah, like that could spread out in front of a windshield. I think if it's unsafe like that and there's a risk, they should take it down.
I think you're clutching at straws.
I think most of them are fine. I think most of them are fine. I quite like it. I think it's fine.
Emma, final word.
I think we need to restore some pride in our country, and that's a good start.
I like that. I like the idea of Union flags being on every school, every hospital.
Absolutely.
I get sick to death of seeing other types of flags, multicoloured flags on buildings. I don't think we need that ramming down our throat. But coming up next, we've got Last Orders with Jasmine Teller. She's going to be talking about face yoga.
Can't wait to get in that sea.
Lovely and warm.
Just like the feeling of having great travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Loads of sunshine and offer across the eastern Mediterranean. A few heavy showers in southern Italy and across Croatia. And the same weather system bringing the UK some wet weather on Saturday will also bring some rain to northernmost parts of Spain and Portugal. But most of Iberia dry, fine and sunny. Heavy showers in central and southern Italy and pretty wet in Croatia as well. Further heavy showers to come in Dubrovnik on Sunday. They should be clearing by Monday. Sunny skies in Barcelona.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Mornings don't have to be tiresome, especially if you have the right company.
Wake up to news as it happens, opinion and debate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment too.
Because when the kettle's on, we're on.
That's Breakfast on GB News, a show worth waking up for.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
We'll spread the news, you spread the word.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
It's Patrick Christie's Tonight, and here we do things differently. It's explaining the absolute madness of this, doesn't it? It's explosive. I mean, this is very good. It's lively.
850. Your government sat there, Sean, and it did nothing.
It's controversial. And the Middle East has been in turmoil since before I was born. It's everything you need to kickstart your evening. Everyone's had their Weetabix tonight. I love to see it. That's Patrick Christie's Tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power?
Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber.
Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics.
We'll see where this ruling takes us.
These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Miriam, you can't be serious. Scrapping the triple lock on state pensions? Madness.
Andrew, we just can't carry on pretending. The numbers just don't add up. We've got to be honest with people. We've got to face the facts. That's what people want.
Well, that's what you get on GB News and on Britain's Newsroom. Lively debates, lively conversation.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first, and we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pearce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
The People's Channel, Britain's News Channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show. It's not a bad brand. Yeah. Uncensored. Very, very, very easy tonight on the unpredictable. What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m. only on GB News.
Sounds like last orders at the bar, and today on the show we have Jasmine Teller, who is a facial yoga expert. For the viewers at home, what is facial yoga?
Hi Lee. So facial yoga is practically exercises for the face. It helps retrain muscles. There's loads of exercises you can do, but you can find them easily online.
And it's cheap as well, isn't it?
It's cheap.
Some people have the facelifts and other stuff done to their face, but this you can do in the comfort of your own home.
Absolutely. And it's lifetime skills. Once you learn it, you can keep on doing it forever. It's a longevity. It's not just a quick fix. It's accepting that we're aging. So, of course, I'm over 50. I am seeing changes, but...
You're over 50?
I am over 50.
Wow.
Fishing for compliments right now. So.
You're great over 50.
Thank you.
Where do people go to get this advice?
Okay, so if you visit my website or my Instagram, Jasmine Teller,
okay,
you can find free facial exercise. You can also come to Harley Street Skin Clinic.
All right, a bit of a plug there. Let's talk about Harley Street Skin Clinic. So I went there a few months ago with Dr. Khan, who came on this show. He was doing a DNA test for me and like a general health checkup. And I met you when I was there. And I was asking you questions about how to make the face look young and how to get rid of the sags and the old turkey neck and stuff like that. And you ran through a few exercises with me, and I think it's working. I think I've done a few.
It's 100% working. I can see the difference, so well done, and just keep it up.
In fact, it's worked that well that just a few weeks ago I got asked for ID in a pub.
You will be asked soon.
Yeah. Any other sort of lifestyle changes we can make as we get to, when I get to 50, for example? Just laughing.
So, I'm laughing because I know it's going to take a long time for you to get to 50.
Yeah, any tips? I'm asking for a friend, by the way.
Ask for a friend.
Yeah.
So nutrition is key, and of course overall movement, because everything is connected from head to toe. Generally a healthy lifestyle, because stress is a key factor also for aging, and practicing facial yoga helps also reduce stress. So, I don't know, Is your job stressful? Is your life?
Well, this job is not stressful, but my other job can be a little bit stressful. You'll get plenty of hate mail and threats and abuse, and that's just from my family.
So you want to do breathing exercises?
Well, some breathing exercises, some more facial yoga and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
What we're going to do now, Jasmine, is have a quick look at a clip of the film that was made when I visited you and Dr. Ahmed in his clinic on Harley Street. Have a look at this, it's very interesting. Jasmine, you're a specialist in facial yoga.
That's correct.
Come on then. Are you going to completely rejuvenate my face in one session?
It might take more than one session.
Oh, thanks for that.
So from 6 to 8 weeks, so it requires consistency. However, not overdo it either, because overdoing face yoga, facial exercise, can cause wrinkles. But it will definitely help you in one session.
Okay, so don't overdo it.
Don't overdo it.
So where do we start then?
So first, let me ask you, which area of the face are you most concerned about?
All of it. It's the bags under the eyes, it's the jowlage, I don't know, it's just all sagging and it's all going south, isn't it?
So everything is connected from head to toe, so we need to address and work the overall face. We can't just isolate one muscle to work on it. So let's get to it. First of all, I suppose that you're often at the desk or looking at computer, phone. Just make sure that once in a while you check your posture, nice and straight, and shoulders back. Because as we lean forward, we bring extra weight on our spine.
Right, yeah.
So, perfect. Let's start by exercising the eye area. Silly face coming, so you're warned. You're going to look up with your gaze only first.
Like that, yeah?
Yeah. Look at me first so I can show you the rest of it. Yeah, perfect. So you will look up.
Yeah.
And then you will place 2 fingers at the corners of your eyes and you will try to squint. So that's going to mobilize the lower part of the eye.
So 2 fingers like that.
Yeah. Inner outer corner of the eyes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Look up. And now try to squint. Yeah. You can remove your fingers.
How many? Is it 3 sets of 10?
It's 3 sets of 10.
There you go, I'm a genius.
You've done this before.
No, I was just thinking about, I once passed a gymnasium and I was doing 3 sets of 10 of something.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's perfect. And then you can also do it. Let me try and see what it looks like without your fingers. Try again, look up, squint, 1, 2, let me correct you, stop. So it's just
it's just
the lower
squinting.
part. Yeah, just squinting.
So you're not actually closing your eyes.
You're not.
Right, I can do that, I think.
Yes, you can. You did the area. Yeah, great. Perfect. That's exactly it. So as you do it, you will need to...
I'm not going to do this in public, by the way, so I'll get carted off to the funny farm.
You can do that at home.
Yeah. Next one.
So here's an exercise for the chin, neck, cheeks and jawline. We're going to work with the tongue. I'm going to exaggerate. You will suck your tongue up and then release it, and then up again and release it. It's going to be like a sucking motion and then release with your mouth closed. This is what it's going to look like. I'm exaggerating when I drop it.
Yeah,
just to show you that it works.
I've got it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Posture first, remember. Good. Nice and tall.
Miss.
And let's go. I need to see it. It looks like, yes.
There's lots of saggage there to lift up, so bear with me. I think as it gets stronger, I'll be able to lift more.
Your muscles are going to get stronger, absolutely. So, and up, I'm just looking, up, release. Yes, I can see the movement, perfect.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. Up to 10 times, and naturally, when we are resting, at resting position, our tongue, that's where it should be.
Yeah.
So that's going to help you implement some changes. And one last thing for relaxation, to relax the nervous system, we're going to stimulate what's called the vagus nerve. So we're just going to do a simple stimulation, just simple tapping. You're going to tap behind the ears and moving down a bit, let me see, run down the neck a little. Good. And release.
What does that do?
So this it stimulates parasympathetic system. It's just going to help you relax. So it should be a full session. You can start tapping different areas, but for a quick one, this is the one. So face yoga integrates loads of methods to really help you calm down your nervous system and be on your journey. Any questions for me?
No, I will do my best, Jasmine. I won't let you down. In fact, the next time you see me, you won't recognise me. How about that? So, that was a great day out. I'm due to go back to see the great doctor sometime in the future for a health check and I think some more blood tests and that. And he was giving me some do's and don'ts and obviously introduced me to you. And you gave me some tips on how to keep this face looking young. But I'm going to give you tips now on how to pull a pint, Jasmine. So you've got the pint pot there. There's the pump, the old neck oil.
Okay.
The turkey neck oil.
Turkey neck oil.
Yeah, if you can give that a quick pull.
So I've never ordered a pint and never poured a pint. Let's see.
Go on, hold it up to the nozzle. That's it, and pull it back. Go on, fill it up right to the top. You've got 30 seconds to pull the perfect pint. Keep going. Don't stop. Right to the top.
It's
right.
It's
Plonk that on the bar.
Oh, shaking. No. Yeah. Oh, it's gone everywhere.
Now you've got to put it on the bar.
No, I've made a mess, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is. Well, if I
won't be changing that job
anytime
soon.
If I could give you any advice, I would stick to the day job. Jasmine, that's awful. The optics of that are dreadful. But the optics of you looking after yourself, healthy diet, good exercise, and the facial yoga makes you look incredibly young. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Last orders with Jasmine. That's great. What a great guest. Thanks for joining me on Lee Anderson's Real World. Been another great show. More of the same next week. But coming up next, we've got Friday Night with Matt Goodwin.
Well, we've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be reacting to that bombshell Epping judgment. I'm going to be giving you my direct views. We're going to be hearing from a top Reform MP. We're going to be going on the ground in Epping to hear from a local councillor. And then we're going to be hearing from Sir Malcolm Rifkind as to why he wants to leave the ECHR. See you in 1 minute.
Today, clouds overhead. Total zen within. Box Solar sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello, very good evening to you. I'm here from the Met Office with your GB News weather update. Through tonight, it is going to turn mostly dry for many of us, but then tomorrow there's a band of heavy rain with some strong winds mixed in with it, all due to a weather system currently out in the Atlantic, but it is heading our way. Nonetheless, before that, most of today's showers are going to be fizzling out through the next few hours. Still some continuing for some western areas in particular. Many places, though, having a dry and often clear night, and under those clear skies, some rural spots in the countryside, it could turn a bit fresh. Temperatures in a few places could dip into mid, maybe high single figures, but most towns and cities, the more built-up areas, holding up in double digits. A fine start to the day for many of us then tomorrow. Lots of actual sunshine around through the morning across much of England and Wales, away from those western coastal parts where there will be a few showers. It's looking largely dry, lots of blue sky through the morning. But across Northern Ireland, starting to turn cloudier by around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and a few patches of cloud and a few showers across parts of Scotland. Towards the east, though, it is looking largely dry. Away from Shetland here, there will be some fairly heavy rain around. Then as we go through the day, that band of rain that I highlighted at the start, that's going to sweep its way in, and so things are going to turn wet and windy as it pushes through. It's going to take a little while to arrive across eastern parts, not really until the evening or even overnight, but when you get that rain, it is going to be quite heavy and, like I said, some very strong winds mixed in with it. Because of the blustery wet weather coming through, it's going to feel fresher than of late, but warm enough in any sunny breaks ahead of it arriving. On Sunday, and we have more showers coming in across western parts. Further east, it's likely to stay dry with some decent sunshine, but even a few showers are likely to push through later on in the day. And then the showery, often unsettled theme continues as we go into next week. Some more persistent rain is possible at times as well. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Today, clouds overhead. Total zen within. Box Solar sponsors the weather on GB News.
Britain was once the envy of the world, but look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m. only on GB News.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates,
5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me good there.
Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand. Yeah. Uncensored.
Very racy tonight on the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace
Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News.
The People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
No,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Miriam, you can't be serious. Scrapping the triple lock on state pensions? Madness.
Andrew, we just can't carry on pretending. The numbers just don't add up. We've got to be honest with people. We've got to face the facts. That's what people want.
Well, that's what you get on GB News and on Britain's Newsroom. Lively debates, lively conversation.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first, and we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pearce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually